Welcome to Stumbling Down History Road, where we uncover the legends that shape our world. I'm Jackson, and today we're exploring the eerie phenomenon of skinwalkers. Known as Ye-Naldalushia in Navajo culture, these shape-shifting witches are said to embody the traits of animals, using their powers for dark purposes. As we delve into these chilling stories, we want to acknowledge and respect the Navajo tradition, recognizing that we are not Navajo ourselves. These tales hold deep cultural significance and reflect important moral lessons. So let's embark on this journey together with reverence and courtesy. And please, don't forget to like, share, comment, and subscribe if you enjoy.
Fuck it, we'll do it live.
Fuck it, we'll do it live.
Fuck it, we'll do it live.
Doing it live.
Doing it live.
Oh yeah, headphones.
Oh yeah.
Tonight on Stumbling Down History Road, we're going to be talking about Skinwalkers. I'm Jackson. We got Jeff.
Hefe! I'm Garrett.
I'm D.
Dracula D. D-Racula.
Why'd you want to talk Skinwalkers? Other than cryptids and spooky Halloween and whatnot?
Um,
Man in the middle?
I don't know why I wanted to talk Skinwalkers, honestly. When I said it, I just threw it out there. I was just like, oh, we're talking cryptids. So you want to talk Skinwalkers? And I thought you'd say no, because you say no to pretty much 95% of the things I say.
That's not true.
I mean, you say no to like 65% of my shit.
That's
Okay,
also
so
not
then
true.
I'm probably at like 75%. Because you probably say more. Because I talk to him a lot more because we work together like 40 hours a week. So I talk to him a lot more, and he says no to me.
And
a
I
lot
hate all of it.
more. Yeah.
I mean, I like making stupid ideas.
I just like to annoy him. So anyway, so I threw out Skinwalkers because I don't know. Honestly, there's zero connection, but I don't know. I thought Skinwalkers, and I was like, oh, bath salts. There's like no connection at all. I just feel like somebody that's on bath salts is crazy and does Skinwalker shit. Well, like I said, no connection.
Okie dokie then.
But anyway, let's get into the real story behind the Skinwalker.
I mean,
I'm very confused by what you just said.
Hmm?
With bath salts, and I'm very confused by what you just said.
I'm just gonna let
'Cause
him.
remember
Yeah,
when
yeah,
people-
yeah. Let him cook. Let him cook. It's
Remember
done.
when people were
Nope,
fucking
nope, it's done. It's,
taking bath salts
nope,
and
it's
they were
good. We're
eating
done.
people and they were fucking like going crazy and they were like zombified and shit. So I don't know.
Yeah.
And now all these people are all fucking zombified. I don't know. It's not really very loose related, but my ADHD brain takes me in all sorts of places, so it's cool.
I remember the face eating guy.
All right, so what can
Wait,
you tell
what?
us about Skinwalkers then?
What did you say?
Mm.
Somebody, just tell me about Skinwalkers.
So, Skinwalkers originated in the Navajo tribe. It's I guess a form of witchcraft. There's
They would.
there's similar stories to Skinwalkers in other indigenous tribes along those regions. The Skinwalkers become the most famous, noteworthy, and been passed on to, I guess, us white folk or however you want to say. But so basically, the story has many different, I guess, tales. One of the stories that I heard was that it originated from basically spiritual leaders in the tribe would teach medicinal leaders in the tribe, the medicine people, how to basically shapeshift and allow them to get from one place to the next to perform these rituals, these life-saving rituals. And it would be a very long process that you would have to learn how to do. You would have to do all these different steps and different all these different things to become that. and it would take a lot of time, months and months and months, years to do to actually achieve it. But pretty much what transpired was the evil in the world basically started saying, instead of going through all of these things to get to the Skinwalker status, we have a faster way, which is basically the demonic way, which is the sacrificing of your loved one, usually a sibling, the necrophilia side of it, the grave robbing of side of it, and then like the haunting of a lot of the Navajo spiritual, I guess they're positive spiritual. What's the word that I'm looking for? Not blessings, but I guess they're rituals, whatever positive rituals that they have. So that's pretty much the kind of the gist of it from what I got from what I was reading and listening to.
He's actually not wrong, for the most part.
I mean,
A little rambly, but yeah, no, he's actually pretty much got the relative basics of the.
can I just ask you something? I love how you did it the other day. I'm like, oh, a scumbag is a condom, and you're like, he's not wrong. Like, I'm not saying these things because I want to be wrong, and like, I appreciate you like fact checking me, but like, I'm not gonna just come on here and just be like, yeah, this is fucking random nonsense. But I appreciate you fact checking me.
I mean,
Why are you looking at me? I didn't say shit.
No, nobody's saying anything.
no, you know, most people go with that like that silly fucking internet fucking dogman bullshit nowadays. So to actually use the relatively right contextual sense from the Navajo was like, oh, okay. I wasn't really fully expecting that. I don't know.
Don't look at me.
I don't know.
What about you? What do you know about Skinwalkers down there?
I mean, essentially what he said, for the most part, they now tend to fall into the type of, consider what we call lycanthropy for,
Kind of like a werewolf, Wendigo, like he was saying,
well,
amongst
Wendigos
other
are-
tribes.
well, Wendigos are a separate thing. Wendigos actually would technically fall into the vampire subclass,
So like, I was
believe
talking
it or not.
I was actually talking to Jackson because in my I found it interesting because like you brought up the vampires and like the Wendigo and everything, and from what I was gathering about the Skinwalker, they kind of have a similar attribute, and they harness their energy through basically killing of humans and like sacrificing people. So like the Wendigo needs to, and the vampires need to drink the blood.
Well, Wendigos are actually,
They're
well, they do
cannibalists. I
yeah.
guess yeah, sorry. So the Wendigos need to eat people, cannibalism, to continue on their power.
However, the cannibalism does technically put it into the vampire because Wendigos are a person that is been possessed by the spirit of the Wendigo, and essentially, it comes from when you're caught in the because this is more of like this is from the north because the Skinwalkers are southern,
Yeah.
Yes.
like southwestern and
Yeah,
stuff
it's
like that. That's
Colorado.
And well, they-
and like
Utah,
Yeah.
Utah,
New
and then,
Mexico,
like,
Arizona,
Mexico and
Texas,
Arizona and
yeah.
stuff like that.
Yeah. Well, while the Skinwalkers are there are variants of Skinwalkers across the country with different types of tribes. There are some.
Not just across the country, across the countries.
Yeah.
Like some variant type of a thing.
But every culture, in one way or another, has a demonic figure.
Sorry, I was trying to finish
That's
the
used-
Wendigo thing.
Yeah, sorry.
Wendigos are from the north, and I want to say they're more Algonquin, and they are what happens when somebody gets caught in the cold in the winter, and they don't have any food, and they either end up eating themselves or somebody that's with them getting possessed by the spirit of the Wendigo.
Yeah.
There's also Wendigo psychosis in and of itself, which is when somebody kind of goes crazy and does cannibalism, but
You ever see that movie about the soccer team? They get trapped in the fucking.
oh
Yeah.
yeah, the Chilean soccer, I think they're Chilean or whatever, and they
Yeah,
get
they
caught
have
in the Andes.
Yeah, and they have to fucking eat each other and stuff. to
Yeah,
survive.
that shit was
That
crazy.
was crazy.
No, that's a whole true story, didn't you
The
know?
Donner Party?
No, that was a going out west thing, and they fucked up. But no, the Chilean soccer team wasn't really their fault because they were just on the plane.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, Wendigos are, because they're a possessed person or a spirit.
It's a slightly different subsect.
They would be so.
And they also like eat the body. It's more cannibalistic as opposed to just
okay.
like,
So there's also the difference between lycanthropy and like werewolf class, and then vampire, and the vampire classes, is vampires are beasts or people that are that are hominid that consume humans.
humanoid.
Humanoid, yeah, humanoid. Like they.
You say that weird. It's a weird way. Hominid? I've never heard it pronounced as hominid. I've heard humanoid.
You've never heard of hominid before? Whatever.
Not pronounced that way. Humanoid.
Anyway, so
I
yeah,
don't know.
because
I've
there
heard
are
of
there are vampires that are
Hodor?
that there's the vampire class that are beast based, which are animals that evolve to become more hominid-esque or be able to take on traits to appear like hominids to prey on humans. And then there's also the living vampire class, and there's the undead vampire class. The undead vampire class, for all intents and purposes, are basically completely extinct due to modern medicine and like rituals and cremation and everything. Most bodies and stuff that would transform for one way or other into an undead vampire can't anymore for whatever various reasons.
Yeah.
Living ones are ones that are born and become vampires, either like psychic ones or the ones that have to drink blood and shit like that through various means. They're pompous pricks. But
You ever see Living in the Shadows? What
we do in the shadows, yeah.
Or What We Do in Shadows, living in
But yeah.
Is that British or is that Australian? I don't remember.
It's Taika Waititi, so it's like Australian and
Gotcha.
or New Zealand or whatever.
It's Foster's.
Now they're in Jersey though, because the movie I think takes place in New Zealand,
Yeah.
and then the TV shows are
yeah,
in
well,
Jersey.
he moves from I think New Zealand to New Jersey.
It's Foster's.
Yeah,
Australian.
whatever
He
it
got
is,
stuck
but,
in New Jersey or whatever.
Yeah, lycanthropes are people or
Who change into an animal.
or other animals that can take on a even more beast. Like they're animals that are become
More bestial.
Yeah.
More feral looking.
So
but those are very very rare and infrequent.
so you like you were saying how like the I keep calling them
Wendigo.
Wendigos. I keep calling them Winnebagos because it's a funny word also. So like you were saying how like the Wendigos and like the vampires and stuff, how they get their powers and how they transform to become that. So with like they say with the Skinwalker, some of the things that they have to do is they have to wear this. They have to
Kill an animal
kill
and then wear
the
the skin, right?
They have to kill the animal that they want to transform into. They have to kill it, skin it. They have to perform a whole bunch of sacrifice like rituals on it, and then they have to wear it for however amount of time. But there were certain animals that weren't allowed to be used. Like you weren't supposed to be able to use a bear because it was sacred, and an eagle because it was sacred. That's why they were usually like a fox, because it's also supposed to be a bigger animal, because obviously like how the fuck
If
are
you
you
turn
gonna-
into a fucking mouse.
yeah, like how are you gonna skin a fucking mouse and wear it? That's why like they were saying like if you see a cat that you think is a fucking
ring.
skinwalker, it's probably not a fucking skinwalker, because what is that small to skin it and fucking walk around in it?
A
and fucking-
wristlet.
you know what I'm saying? So like, it's what were you gonna say?
No, the whole wristlet thing. So the using more jewelry and stuff and everything like that actually is more of a European thing.
Yeah.
The,
I was saying, like, technically you could turn it into, like, a wristlet and you're wearing the leather of the animal. Something like that. That's where I'm like, maybe, technically? Like,
yeah, turning it more into actual totems like that.
Yeah.
Or full, like, this is more a bit of a European thing with a...
See, that's why like I don't mean to cut you off, but like that's why there's so many similarities in between like all these like some quote unquote mythical demonic beasts like across
cryptids.
yeah.
Yeah.
So like the vampires and the Wendigos, and then like even like my fiance, she's from DR, and like that's close to Haiti, and like Haiti is obviously very close, very much into voodoo, and so are a lot like a lot of the the Dominican people are as well, and they talk about the demons, and they talk about how like if you hear your voice and you hear somebody calling your name and like you hear it, don't go to it because those are demons. and they talk about skinwalkers being able to mimic people's voices that you love, and they'll call out your name to make it sound because they want to draw you out. And they
Yeah.
want-
So okay, what a lot of that is actually more. So the skinwalkers are people that become the animals and everything. They're usually large animals like wolves, coyotes, hawks, and everything. Like they can turn into like. So when they are able to fully, a lot of the like when you hear like what sounds like calling back to you, those are more beast vampires.
not from,
Those are vampires that are descended from beasts that have become more hominid-esque and are able to
Well, so-
mimic and try and lure in humans to prey upon them.
so the skinwalkers. They'll be amongst us, and that's how they blend in. That's how they thrive.
Mhm.
They do their evil
Skinwalkers-
things as their human form, but they use their beast to get away. That's how they scamper off quickly, and they get away from what they're doing.
I mean, they will use their beast form to attack you if they need to and whatnot.
but most of the time,
for the
they
most
use-
part, they're not going after people actively like that unless they are doing it for whatever
Revenge.
ritualistic revenge or whatever other reasons. But
But
they're
they also-
technically not really preying upon humans exactly for sustenance like a vampire would.
they kind of do need it for sustenance.
They do, yes, in the way that when they do, it's for ritualistic purposes, for power and stuff. Yeah, but they're not like going and trying like eating them just to eat.
Yeah, but I'm saying it's.
I don't do it for survival. I do it for power.
Yeah, but I mean it's still.
Subtle difference.
Yeah, survival is what makes
but
the
if they don't-
vampirism vampirism.
But if they don't have the power, then they're not going to really be able to carry on and survive in that way. They're just going to
yeah,
just
so they
slink
do
away.
have to do what they do
So it's- yeah.
ritualistically. Well, but
So
yeah.
it's like white rice and fried rice. They're, it's the same thing but different. It's
Well, a lot of lycanthropes used to become vampires after death anyway, until we started fucking embalming and cremating and all that other praying over and priests and whatnot. So
Yeah.
a lot of that
that-
stuff is like I said,
that's why-
it's for the most part the undead are extinct.
and they do some ground. They do grave robbing because they use the bone dust and they use the fucking bone arrows and stuff like that to basically spread disease and stuff like that. That's what they would take these dead people and they would basically.
For some reason, I'm just thinking of Mermaid Man yelling, "Evil!"
Yeah, a little bit. But
So they rob the graves for greed, but also for the bones, so that they could use the bones for.
I mean, a lot of people grave rob for
Yeah.
greed because there's
It's
yeah,
free
for
real
sure.
estate.
For sure. Yeah.
clothes, jewelry, gold teeth.
Yeah. But I'm saying as far as like their purpose, like how it fits into them. Like they were known as grave robbers because they would have sex with the corpse. They did a lot of necrophilia and stuff in their rituals.
I mean,
And I think there's some cannibalism involved in it as well.
yes, but again, that's not exactly what their main
We are by no means
experts here.
experts here. We are people talking
No,
about
those
the
guys are way above
stories.
my pay grade.
Yeah, we are talking about the stories and the legends that we heard revolving around and our research into the subject. We do not claim to be. This is not like, hey man, this is what it is.
And
Like,
and like some of the stuff that I was watching, I was like listening to this old Navajo tribe leader, and like a lot of what he was saying was in his native tongue, and then like it was translated into English, and like he was talking about how the elders don't even really
They don't talk about it.
They don't talk about it.
yeah,
because
it's very
you
like
don't- you
it's
don't-
very taboo.
you don't bring it up because they see it as like if you're interested in it and you bring it out, then it's going to draw you towards it, and they don't want that.
Yeah,
so they
yeah,
don't
it's
want-
very
they don't-
taboo. It's very like hush hush. If
You're
some
not supposed to say the proper name of skinwalkers, as it's said to be inviting their presence to you. It's also the same
don't-
thing with Wendigo. So in
You know how to
Native
pronounce-
American
by the
cult-
way,
Can you
if we
pronounce that
just
fucking name, how do you say that?
I'm not saying it. By the way, I just can't. That's why I'm not saying it.
Yeah,
I don't want to
I don't know
like
how
butcher it.
yeah, I don't
but
know how to say it. I don't
by
know
the
what
way,
it is.
if we disappear over the time of this month, it's one of the fucking cryptids, man. It's one of the goddamn cryptids. That or it's the birds got to us.
I'm gonna go with
Government
Chupacabra
spoke.
did it.
government spy drones, fucking birds, bro.
I don't know. I got crow bros now.
Yeah, but birds aren't real.
Pro Bros?
I got crow bros.
Birds
They're
are
giving me
not
crows.
real.
They're giving me feathers.
Birds are not real. They're just more interested in you because they're part of the NSA. They know what you're up to. They see you when you're sleeping.
Anyway, so what the fuck were?
You were saying
we were
something about the Wendigos.
Oh, so no, okay, so yeah, no. In Native American culture, you're not supposed to like really talk about these things as the words have the power.
Yeah.
It's
Absolutely.
very much words have power, and I mean, you're
You
also
speak
like
it into existence.
yeah. It's the same thing with you. Also, don't whistle at night. That
Yeah.
invites
So
evil
that-
spirits to come after you.
So
also,
that was So that was a lot of the things that the Skinwalkers did, because, like you said, a lot of the demons and stuff, they come out at night. So you weren't supposed to do certain rituals at night. You weren't supposed to do like the sand art at night. A lot of these things that you weren't supposed to do, the Skinwalkers would do all these things at night because they were trying to upset the positive gods. They were trying to upset the spirits. So they would say, like they would take
you're viewing inverse.
yeah.
Yeah. They're doing the inverses. Yeah, no,
everything.
I get what you're saying.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, the Skinwalkers have taken on a whole new presence with like online and stuff.
Now
too.
that's it's crazy
Yeah.
because if you so
especially with like
what the hell is Skinwalker
X.
Ranch? Because I was trying.
So
I didn't.
Skinwalker Ranch is a real place in
Yes.
Utah,
yep.
and it's not
It's
connected, but it is also not connected. It's closer to like an alien encounter than it is Skinwalkers.
So it was originally a Skinwalker thing, as the valley itself was meant to be a path through which Skinwalkers would take while they're traveling for their rituals. When it got settled, that by the whites and everything, that's when the other stuff started to happen because. I think the theory is because the Skinwalkers had to change their path and whatnot, it caused the ley lines to flux, which causes the phenomenons to happen.
Yeah,
'Cause it's supposedly, I think it's positioned along one of the ley lines too. For those who don't know, ley lines are essentially channels of spiritual energy that flow through the earth in a almost basketball-esque pattern, and they intersect and cross and flow heavier at certain spots and stuff. So, a lot of things like this would take place on ley line areas and stuff. For example, Stonehenge is supposed to be laying on one of the ley line intersections somewhere over there.
yeah. It's just like one of those.
New Orleans has a chunk of it sitting on a crossroad, I think, of a ley line.
It's just one of those like mythical things that attract spiritual outcomes and things like that. That's all it really is. It's like it's the magic of the earth. Ooh, it's the spirits of the earth. Ooh, it's this. Like it's just one of those things too. That's a crossroads, an attraction point of where it all intersects, type shit.
Yeah,
And so why it's a big reason as to why like, oh, this shit happens here because of this. Like it just occurs here, and we expect it.
Yeah, it's almost like it's almost like the Akashic records and stuff.
It's why many
But
good
not.
guitarists
Those
sell
are
their
very
soul in New Orleans
on a
to
crossroads
the devil.
and stuff.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's just one of those types of things.
Oh man, I remember when Christian got into those.
Oh God, no.
Whatever. Sorry.
No, you're good.
Anyway, but yeah. So the Skinwalker Ranch thing. Now it's got the whole History Channel show, but so
Yeah.
what it is
What it is?
yeah, like I said, it was supposed to be the valley where it is because it's in like almost like a valley. It's in, I think it's Ute Canyon or whatever it is.
Yeah.
Where the Ute tribe of Native Americans, who were a type of Navajo adjacent
Just kinda
tribe.
like-
Almost.
So the Utes were a Navajo, one of the Navajo Nation tribes and stuff, and so they had the Skinwalkers, and so yeah, where the ranch is supposed to be one of the places where they would pass through during their travels and stuff. I just said all this shit.
Yeah, yeah.
But yeah, so then people settled on it. And so they still travel through there, and you'll hear stories of Skinwalkers and stuff traveling through there. But now also, because there are other people settled on the land. It caused the fluctuation. So
Yeah.
now you also have other supernatural phenomena taking place, like orbs and stuff and everything.
Aliens is a big one that it
Yeah,
is
UFOs
fucking-
and
yeah.
stuff. Because orbs and UFOs are a bit different.
Yeah,
There was a bunch of fucking asswhack of cattle mutilation / cattle disappearances for that one
Yep.
family. Supposedly their dogs got fucking vaporized into charcoal or some shit.
Yeah, like I said, it's not, but it's also not. If that makes sense.
I mean, a lot of this is all alleged.
Yeah.
Think of it almost like the Amityville house,
Yeah. Yep. Yeah.
except
For
probably a bit-
Long Island natives.
or people who've just seen the stupid movies. They've made a lot
They
of weird
made a
Amityville
lot of movies.
Dude, oh my god.
Out of
Or
that-
The
out of that.
Exorcist is?
Yeah. Well, I mean, there's like the 4 or 5 main Exorcist movies, and there's a bunch of weird kind of spin-off.
The
Exorcist-
Conjuring movies.
Yeah. But
and
no,
that whole
like-
tie-in.
There's just a bunch of fucking movies. They're just labeled Amityville this, Amityville that. And it has nothing to do with even Amityville fucking Long Island. They're just calling it that. And it's just the one house, and it was the Warrens being the fucking Warrens. We'll get into them eventually.
Maybe, maybe not. Who knows? We'll see if we make it through the month without dying. Knock on.
Well,
Superstition.
should I get
Fear.
So,
Suspense.
so Ed and Relaine.
Where's that movie? What's that movie?
Oh, that was
Huh?
City of the
Huh?
City of the Dead or some shit like that. It was or City of the fuck. What was it? I know it was Christopher Lee who said the line. Just trying to, because it had like 2 different names too or some shit. We started watching it on the stream. It'll come to us, whatever. Anyway. Anyway.
Any old two.
Yeah, no, so Ed and Relaine Warren, they were a couple.
City of the Dead Horror Hotel.
Thank you. Okay, so I was right. It was City of the Dead. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, so Ed and Relaine Warren, they actually, I think, were the Conjuring. No, were they the Conjuring film? I know they did the Annabelle shit. And I think Annabelle is part of the Conjuring universe.
So, the guy that plays Ed Warren is in 2 separate paranormal movies that are based off of true life at the same time.
Oh, there's
and
a bunch of those. They did the Haunting in Georgia movies too, and stuff.
But
too.
it like, because there's Insidious and there's Conjuring.
Insidious,
And I don't
think-
remember which one lines up with which story. I think Conjuring
I think
lines
it's
up
the
with
Conjuring.
Annabelle
Yeah, Conjuring
and Ed
and Annabelle,
Warren.
yeah. So-
And
okay, so it's
Insidious is
Conjuring
something else,
stuff,
I
yeah.
think.
Yeah, so for those who are like big Conjuring and Annabelle fans, you know them as like the guys who are always there to investigate the shit. Whether or not they're actually
And they
full
went
of
to
shit or
Skinwalker
not.
Ranch we're talking about, right?
No, they never had any involvement.
Okay,
in
so then let's
Skinwalker
get back to
Ranch.
Skinwalkers.
We're stumbling. Fuck you.
Do you think Skinwalkers could be true?
Yeah. No,
Yeah. Sure.
I mean, you know, the whole thing with the Native American stuff, it's just, you know, there's a whole reason why they are so, like, fearful and superstitious and everything, and, you know,
You think there's some merit to the fear, is what you're saying? Like it's warranted.
I mean, even then, look at, like, the whole thing with, like, how, like Ropan, with, like, how, like, Canterbury works over in Europe, how it was almost the exact same thing, technically, until it started getting, you know, Hollywood and fucking dramatized and stuff. Because actual, like, Canterbury, for the most part, really doesn't work how, you know, it's not like, oh, you're bitten by a werewolf and change and stuff. That's, yeah. For the most part, it was people who were performing rituals to be able to to invoke it.
And
Yeah.
and you also agree? You think that there's some validity?
Yeah, I can see it being true. For sure. And the the Indian people were very spiritual.
You got real soft spoken all of a sudden.
You know, of the earth people, you know, they. So yeah, I can definitely see them being able to, you know, invoke both positive and negative spirits.
So, does,
It fits.
so does that make me the semi-skeptic?
I mean,
It's like
So, I mean-
it's just hard for me to.
So
it's not
I-
that I don't want to believe. It's just hard for me to believe in something that is like so potentially out there.
So are you saying that you don't believe that it's current, like people, like that it's currently happening, or you don't believe that it ever happened?
Yes. I'm saying yes to both of them.
I understand that.
Yeah.
I
Like
mean,
it's hard for me to grasp it without some type of like
proof.
in my opinion, like some type of tangible proof. I mean, not that like there aren't things in the world that people don't fucking talk about. Like when you were a kid, you didn't talk about the boogeyman and shit like that, right? Like it just didn't happen. When you were a kid, you didn't talk about your birthday wish or it wouldn't come true, shit like that. So like it's not that like things like
So
that don't happen, but I am more along the lines of like something spiritual like that is less likely than something like aliens. Not to say that, they're comparable, but I would believe aliens before I believe that, and I loosely believe in aliens.
So you see that. So you
It's
would
just
see
further down in the line for me.
So
I
you
guess.
would see so you would akin a skinwalker, because I almost I was drawing that comparison when I was doing the research too, like because it was going back to like how I was saying, the different cultures and the similarities are not the exact same, but the similarities in stories, because cultures are different, so things manifest in different ways, and the telling of the stories, matriculate down in different ways. So even though they might not be the exact to the T, but like I said with the ricins, like when you look at cultures and foods, they cross over in many different ways, but in different forms, but they're still similar. Like the crepe and the pancake, it's a similar thing. You have
Like cereal gazpacho.
sure, if you want to use that, and hot dogs and sandwiches as well, whatever you want to do, whatever floats your boat. So
We broke 'em, boys.
would you, I guess you can consider that as like a myth to try and like, I guess, to keep the kids in line, or to keep people from
No.
like,
I don't think it's a myth to keep people in line. I think that it's maybe it would to keep them in line. Like I don't know.
Because like the boogeyman is like, oh, if you do this, the boogeyman is going to come after you, and like the kids are like, oh no, I don't want, so they're like, it scares them straight for like,
Yeah.
so like,
Yeah.
Well, the boogeyman's a demon.
yeah,
That's neither here nor there.
yeah.
He's trying to akin
May
it
or may
to.
also be not the tooth fairy.
That's neither here nor there.
I mean, the tooth fairy could be a demon, but just, I guess, like whatever.
No, I'm
the-
referencing two different books.
whatever
Jackson gets one of them. The other one was a me book.
That's neither here nor there. I mean, maybe it's something to kind of akin it to like a scaring people straight. I don't know. I mean, we've done so much shit basically to just scare people straight. I mean, look at the fucking Cold War. It was just USA and Russia going, do it, do it,
I mean,
do it, do it, do it. Like we were just scaring
Kill a
each
bunch
other.
of Southeastern Asian people.
I mean, religion,
Like we were just doing it to like.
Isn't religion just a scared straight? Isn't the premise of heaven and hell to keep people in line, pretty much?
Oh my God, he's catching on.
No, I'm just saying, like, no, I like,
That's a
so
joke.
like, in essence, it's, again, it's transforming across many different features and different ways to, what is it, to just keep people in line across many different cultures and through
I mean,
generations?
So the whole medicine people do exist within the
Yeah,
Navajo,
absolutely.
and
I
it's still
think he's
prac-
asking me, not you.
Yeah.
Uh,
Because me and you were both in line where I think it's something that could have existed.
still
it's just
technically exists.
I mean, it still technically exists.
It's
as
just
in,
so
like, in
hard
the
for me
ether,
to-
But like, are there people that are actually like?
doing
Performing
this.
said rituals, not frequently anymore because cars exist. It's a lot easier to get a car than have to do the whole ritual. Trust me.
I don't think that people.
But there are a lot of people who still
I-
around who've done it.
I don't think that there aren't people who are in some way practicing, something like that in terms of the ritual for
Hello.
some type of an idea for something that they for something that they think is happening. I mean, people up until people still do it for like the alchemist stone, the like
The philosopher's stone.
yeah, in order to try and turn lead into gold. Like people still do that shit just to see if it's possible. So I don't think it's impossible that people are doing rituals, whether it's for medicine men or because they actually want to become this evil in life.
Have you
But,
ever
like-
done a Reiki ceremony, and like like a drum ceremony and all that other stuff where you go into?
No.
So
Thanks.
I've just because sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off. It's just because I was thinking about that. Because you were talking.
Do the
about,
thing.
No, go.
Do the thing.
Go on.
You
sorry.
stumbled right over me. Go ahead.
Go. I'm sorry.
I
didn't
lost
mean to
my
step on
train.
you. I didn't mean to. Step
My
on
train
you.
is lost. Go.
Go.
My train is lost.
I definitely
No, I've never done I've never done any of the stuff involving that type of ritual stuff.
So I've done a couple of them, and they're pretty fucking cool. I've done the Reiki. I've done the ceremonies and stuff, and it definitely, like, it transforms you into a completely another fucking, like, spiritual being. And like,
I am not a child of wood and nature. I am a son of steel and flame.
okay.
Let him finish his story.
I'm
So
sure
like,
you-
so I could like the spiritual aspect of all of it. I totally believe in the medicine man, and like as you were saying, because that's where I cut you off. That's why you said like the medicine people. That's where you were. You were talking about the medicine people being real and stuff like that.
Yeah, like I think that people do it, and I think that they undergo potentially like what they see is a spiritual awakening and this and that, and like I don't know, it's just hard for me to do that without having experienced something, like believe in something that I haven't like
Yeah.
experienced or seen firsthand somebody go through and
So
like
like agnostic.
witnessed. Kinda, yeah.
I mean, there.
I'm more likely to believe in Jeff than I am something, because like I've seen dinosaur bones.
I mean, people think some people argue
Technically,
that,
I've seen the fossils of dinosaur
some
bones.
people
I haven't seen
argue that
dinosaur
that's
bones.
not accurate either. Some people argue that there weren't dinosaurs.
Exactly,
Yeah.
and like I have no issue saying yes or no to that. That's why I'm saying like I guess I'd be considered the skeptic in this.
What were you gonna say?
I don't know. I've lost my thought.
His train has also departed.
Give me a minute. It's coming back to me. Anyway,
It's all coming back. It's all coming
mean,
back to me now.
there are like there are like a lot in like a lot of like Arabic countries. There are still like they're still very much doing like hardcore exorcisms and very much
for
like
sure.
they're dealing with jinn and stuff and
Yeah,
all that.
yeah.
Like,
I too have seen Constantine.
is there a jinn in Constantine?
No, but The Exorcism.
Oh, yeah. That's a good movie.
Underrated.
Yeah.
I mean, there are definitely a lot of extremely barbaric cultures that are still in existence today.
It's a
I
little
don't know
racist, but
I don't know if I'd call him barbaric.
I mean, in their form of their things and their growing up, it may not be barbaric, but the norms that we are accustomed to and how things are done here, it may seem it'll be seen as barbaric for sure.
I would have used the term maybe like underdeveloped or not. I don't know.
Sorry, I didn't realize that we had to be politically correct in our term in our speaking. So I guess underdeveloped.
I don't know. Just trying to lean away from the whole calling Arabic people barbaric.
I didn't say you said Arabic. I just said there are cultures. You're the one who said Arabic. You pointed out a specific
Yes,
culture.
but it's the implications.
Oh God. Not the implications.
The
Not again.
Well,
Not
impli-
another lost
the
episode.
implications is why she's still on the boat.
Jesus.
He's getting the reference.
Of course I got the reference. It's one of my favorite shows.
He was the one that wanted us to do Always Sunny.
I know. Anyway.
So, do you guys have any encounter stories that you were able to find?
Yeah.
Oh, I mean,
I saw a bunch of them on fucking.
there's so
Instagram.
many across.
But like
fucking-
that you can tell.
I mean, none of them are real except for the one guy that I listened to who was. I mean, I don't have any way to, check his ID, but said he was a Navajo.
There was
child
this
or
one.
whatever. And he told stories, but I don't fucking know how accurate they are.
I was watching an interview with a younger Navajo medicine man, and he was talking about how he's had a few encounters, and he's like, "Yeah, no, dude, it's like, I have like they've almost come up on me and shit, and like, it's by like just me being more vigilant. It's like they haven't like gotten me when I'm just trying to like, because they will fuck around and shit like, coming after trying to do rituals and shit, and he's like." So we have to, there's a few of us who go around and like have to like make sure that they don't fuck around in our,
I have one pulled up that I was gonna read. That's why I was like, you guys have anything?
Jackson's gonna
This is
read
not
the
my
story.
story. This is a story that I found off the internet. So take it with however much you want. Wait.
Is this be me green text?
Yeah, this be me green text.
Yeah, that was definitely a weird way to fucking just to
Look, man, all I'm saying is that it's not my story, and I can't speak to the validity of it.
So
Wait.
the be me green text thing is a reference to 4chan where a lot of these stories come from. Because they typically start with,
No, I was just so
they typically start with like,
You just wanted to
in the
question my
green-
validity on camera.
No, absolutely not. I was just questioning the way you worded the sentence.
be
'Cause-
me green text.
No,
No,
you.
my sentence,
Oh,
not
Your
your
sentence.
sentence.
Because you
He
said
knew you speak a meme. In the
you
dankest
said
of
something
meme.
along the lines of like, I don't know how accurate it is, something, and then you said wait, like the last, like because you were saying like you don't know how much weight it holds, but you said wait last, like you were like wait for this story, wait,
Wait,
just
wait,
Wait.
wait.
Go.
Dude, those fucking things are like so annoying. The new ones.
And
Wait,
they're like, wait.
wait, and you just keep hitting it, and it's
Boop.
like wait,
Boop.
wait. You know
Is
what
it
I'm
worse than the
what I'm talking
boop,
about.
the beeping ones that just go boop, boop?
Oh,
I
I hate
think-
the fucking boop.
I think the wait is worse to me.
The bonk, or it was like bonk.
I think the wait
That's
is
like
worse
the-
to me.
When you get that like
Wait,
Wait.
wait,
Wait.
wait.
Wait. It's good. It's,
And it
it's a
just
very,
keeps you just keep hitting it, and
It's
it's
a
like
very condescending way how it says wait to you.
Wait,
it kind of sounds like it would be on the train.
wait.
Wait,
Wait.
wait,
No. You're not putting enough emphasis on wait.
wait.
No, that's too much emphasis now. Too forced. Wait.
WNBC. WNBC.
Wait.
Anyway.
All right. So
Anyway,
yeah,
all right, so
the
story time with Jackson.
Okay then.
whack. So, a group of friends was camping near a remote area in the Navajo
I thought you were
region.
gonna like have like a scene, a mood.
You're interrupting story time with Jackson.
because you were like
You're interrupting story
it
time
was
with
a
Jackson.
cold, dark
I'm
night.
gonna talk over you.
I'll go.
Drawn by the natural beauty and the serenity of the
Is
landscape.
this a sex story? What the fuck is going on here?
One night they decided to share stories around the campfire. As the tales grow darker, one of the friends, a Navajo local, shared his own chilling experience. He recounted a night where he was driving home late from a nearby town. The road was isolated, surrounded by dark woods. As he drove, he noticed a large coyote by the side of the road. It seemed to be watching him intently, its eyes glowing in the headlights. Feeling uneasy, he continued driving but noticed the coyote begin to follow him. It kept pace with the car, running alongside as if it were keeping up with him effortlessly. Suddenly, the coyote stopped and transformed into a tall, hominid? Is that
Hominid?
what you called it earlier?
Humidor?
Yeah.
Humanoid figure with long limbs and glowing eyes. Terrified, he sped away. He recalled that as he drove, he felt an eerie sense of dread, as if something was pursuing him. When he finally reached the safety of his home, he looked back and saw the figure standing at the edge of the woods, watching him intently. So there's a lot of different stories very similar to this, and how it's like, oh, he saw an animal that was kind of acting a little off, and then it just like suddenly started fucking chasing the car, and or it was chasing him, and it just like, why is this animal a little off? Why is it that this person is a little off? What's going on here? Shit like that. It's a lot of like, oh, that's weird. And then all of a sudden, it just now starts following you. And now it's trying to chase you. And now it's trying to get you. Like, it's just a lot of that type of stories from what I've been able to find in here.
Another one.
A lot of them are like, it keeps up with the cars, though. Like, there's superhuman strength, superhuman speed, and probably other superhuman stuff. But, like, from what I was able to tell, it wasn't, sense of hearing and smell and shit like that. But, like, just being able to keep up with a fucking car.
Some of those might be beast
Beast
Good
man.
beast vampire based encounters. But that, you know. But I remember. Oh, there's one I remember where a guy claimed that his cat came back as a skinwalker
That's weird.
He was sitting there. He lets his cat's an indoor-outdoor cat, and it's like, it comes back and it starts acting weird and funky and not how it usually is, and everything like that. So he gets his 22 pistol, coats the fucking bullets in cigarette ash because you're supposed to use white ash. It's what you use for them.
And you're supposed to be.
It's supposed to be particularly from an ash tree itself too.
Yeah, and you have to shoot them in the neck, or I don't know. It was like the neck or the head, the neck or the arm or something like that.
I don't remember the place off the top of my head, but yeah, it's rounds coated in white ash, preferably larger hunting rounds. But yeah, he coats his like fucking 22 pistol rounds in the cigarette white ash, proceeds to unload the clip into his cat, and then like takes it, burns it, and spreads the ashes and shit. And he's like, I'm like, are you sure you just didn't accidentally let the wrong cat into your house, my dude?
Yeah, but no.
And he's like, yeah, the cat was like making weird noises and stuff, and
as opposed to meow.
And he's like, it looked exactly like my cat, but it wasn't. So I proceeded to mag dump it.
With cigarette ashed bullets.
Yes, because
Bullets.
Birdshot, buckshot. Right? Isn't that how you're supposed to load it? Buckshot, birdshot. How is it? Are you supposed to load a shotgun? You're supposed to do warning shots, right?
Rock salt rounds.
You're supposed to use like warning shots before.
Motherfucker, there are no warning shots.
Isn't that the
We don't believe in warning shots in this house.
Well, I mean, except for me.
It's a light peppering. Birdshot. It's a light peppering. Have you ever been peppered? It's a light peppering.
Birdshot is very survivable.
Yes.
Oh yeah, birdshot's extremely survivable after a certain range.
Yeah, I mean, just look at the guy that was shot by Dick Cheney in the face.
I think that was about 10 yards.
Yes, it was also a 22
It was a 20 gauge.
No, it was a 22 gauge.
Was it 22 gauge?
Yeah.
All right.
They were hunting pheasants.
Was it pheasants or quail?
Quail.
Maybe it was quail.
It was quail, yeah.
But it was like, oh, there's one. Bang!
Yeah. It's supposed to be like the easiest fucking thing to hunt.
Unless you're Dick Cheney.
Yeah. But yeah, no, birdshot is extremely survivable. Buckshot is a lot less.
Yeah.
And slugs are also a lot less.
Oh, yeah. That's why we don't do warning shots in this house. Any other cool stories?
Around here, you'd probably want to use a shotgun, though. Rifles here would probably be a very bad idea.
Yeah, we're a little tight cramped on the island.
Unless you want to, accidentally be doing an ATF.
Did you shoot my dog?
That's why you get a stuffed dog filled with tannerite.
God.
Then you put it on a Roomba. God.
Go away. Go away.
Unleash the tannerite Roombas.
You're not invited to my next dinner party.
Like the gun that fucking Walter White built at the end of fucking Breaking Bad.
You're talking about the machine gun he uses?
Yeah.
No, tannerite is a powder that when you shoot it with a high velocity round explodes.
Yeah. It's
And
just a purchasable explosive
you
with
can-
a sudden and forceful enough impact.
and
It's supposed to be used for farming and fun stuff.
And blowing people up.
like getting rid of fridges.
Yeah. Fun stuff.
But yeah, no. So what you do is
You can check out Kentucky Ballistics for tannerite use. Not sponsored, but you're getting tagged.
your average Roomba dustpan can hold about 3.5 ounces.
Do not. No. Bad. Stop it.
Uh-oh. Here comes the cops.
Whoop, whoop.
That's the sound of the police.
Whoop, whoop.
That's the sound of the police.
So, I know that you guys said that you kind of like believe in it in some case. Can you explain a little bit of like the logic behind it, the capacity as to how much so you believe? Because like I kind of explained the being a skeptic. I just
I mean, I don't know. I mean, I guess I've never seen it, so I guess to be able to like 100% say it, I believe it because I've seen it. I obviously can't say that, but I don't know, just the stuff that I've learned about Native Americans and the stuff that I was reading about how this, and I don't know. It seems like it could be believable because they, Native Americans did use animal skin for a lot of different things. They did wear animal skin a lot, so.
Oh yeah, no shit. Leather's animal skin.
No, obviously, but I'm saying like they.
Thank you.
I'm saying, but like they obviously, so like, would it be outside of the scope that they, were doing certain things like this and wearing a full animal like that? I mean, I don't know. I guess.
Do you think that maybe it could have been confused with somebody who just went like a little off his rocker and was like just wearing animal pelt, and people from a distance thought that it was an animal acting kind of weird?
So it's like just early schizophrenia.
Potentially, yeah. Do you think that that's maybe a potential? Because like I'm willing to believe that. No doubt. I mean, look at fucking people today. People are nuts today.
Well,
And when you had less access to mental care, when you had less access to actual fucking things, and you were eating raw meat and this and that, and like it wasn't the same as it is today.
Are you saying that the Native Americans weren't cooking their food?
No, what I'm
But
saying
also, what
is
you
that
said, but you're talking
it
about-
wasn't as it wasn't as tested to be like, oh look, we need to cook it to X before we kill off all diseases. So like the possibility that they undercook something is a higher likelihood.
But also, you have to understand that
Well, it's
You know,
almost like
like,
the
they
ergot
have-
thing with.
I'm sure they have more of a tolerance. Their body built up more of a tolerance to eat stuff that might not have been, maybe that we can.
Sure, that's just like one example of like potential things that could have happened, though, is what I'm saying. Somebody could have just, I don't know, fell and hit his fucking head, and now he developed brain injury and thinks he's a wolf. Like,
I mean, like some sort of like.
but it's just an
like,
example
like,
of one potential thing leading
aphasia or
into.
something.
Yes, I'm using that as an example of something that could have potentially happened to where somebody thinks that he is now a wolf, dresses as a wolf, and people from a distance were like, "Oh fuck, that's a skinwalker."
Don't we have people like that now, and we have to like refer to them as they thems and stuff?
Jesus Christ, Garrett.
I mean,
Should have seen that one coming. Anyway, so I mean,
you walked me into it, no? But fuck it, I'm gonna say it. It's on my mind.
So my logic behind why so the whole Native American medicine man thing has been like I wouldn't say it's like 100% true, tried and
No, but that's like one
But-
of the
Anyway, but the thing is even like there's always going to be like those sociopathic, evil people who will do what it takes, take the shortcuts, and trample on whoever they need to so they can acquire said power and what they want to gain and everything. And pardon me, so if they can take like the whole rituals of the medicine man, cut them up or whatever, add some cheap murder that they and save themselves some time and energy and get that power, get that abilities and whatnot, then that's what they're going to do. And so, and there's still people like that nowadays. I mean, even look at it's also like the same thing over in Europe with like the people who fucking would also do shit like the berserkers with the Vikings and stuff, where they would dress up in animal pelts and think that they become said animals and stuff.
And that's what I mean. Like I think that it's probably closer to that as opposed to transforming into an animal.
Oh, so like, all right. I guess
That's where I'm kind of like, because I mean we talked
get
about
that
we talked about the validity loosely about El Chupacabra and what we think it could be, and like I think that there is more validity in El Chupacabra, the throat goat, as opposed to this guy. Oh, not this individual person, obviously, but like this.
So technically, there's more validity to them as this is a thing. This has been a thing because Native Americans exist, medicine men exist, so naturally this type of thing is going to come about and exist. So yes, these exist. These are things as compared to chupacabras, which also exist but are a bit more in suspect and flux. Where I can see where you're saying that the chupacabra being a thing more is like, I can see it being, that's the
An
thing.
actual physical, tangible thing,
So-
as opposed to
to
somebody
somebody
turning
turning
into an
into-
animal. Yes.
So like I can see the skepticism on that aspect because like, all right, if there is a way to, in essence, shapeshift and morph into an animal and back and forth, then in theory, like, why aren't there fucking isn't shit like that happening? Is it because
Lizard people are real though.
Oh, lizard
is
people,
is it
100%.
because the art, like the black magic behind it, that aspect, has it just has
Have
the
we
people-
lost our touch on it?
Yeah, exactly. Or the people that are the ones that were passing it along have just no longer, they're extinct, so they can't continue to.
So again, as I kind of joked before, a lot of like the whole thing was you were using it more the becoming an animal for travel. You were doing like the whole becoming an animal part was more of a for travel thing. Like that was how you got about. That was your means for even
That's the car thing that you were trying to say. Okay, I couldn't quite
Yeah.
figure out what you were trying to go with that. You
For
just
the
said,
most part-
"Oh, cars." I'm like,
Yeah.
"Oh,
no for
cars."
You
Yeah,
don't
that was a good
really-
movie.
You don't really need to become an animal for travel anymore when it's a lot easier to purchase a car or take a
Yeah, but you can't hide you can't hide if you're driving in a car. Like if you want to disappear, and you turn into a fucking wolf and you're running through the forest, it's going to be a lot harder for them to be like, oh,
Yeah, but
that's
you don't
fucking
really-
Jim, as opposed to that's Jim driving the 1965 fucking
Well, one of the things
VW,
one of the things that I saw with
license
Skinwalkers.
registration right there.
One of the things that I saw and heard about with Skinwalkers is that, like, as opposed to, like, werewolves and vampires and things like that, where if they get hurt, it kind of goes away with a shift, Skinwalkers continue to keep the wounds.
yes.
So would you say that instead of like an actual, like,
So
they sorry to cut you, so just because I just want to get this out before I
Yeah,
forget.
yeah.
So would you say that maybe it's a little bit more believable that instead of the person like actually fully shape shifting into said like animal,
Wore a
maybe,
carcass and got confused.
or no, or maybe because these people, the Native Americans were so at one with nature, and maybe they were able to kind of work alongside maybe like the fucking fox, and they were like they used the fox to like get away. They were smaller people. It's not like they were fucking your size. Indians were known to be smaller people. Most of them were small. So it's not, if they were wearing a fox, is it really that outside of the scope that maybe they could fucking ride on the back of a deer or the back of a fox to fucking just get away from things? And maybe people are like,
Back of a fox, yes. I don't think that somebody's riding on the
I've
back
seen
of a
some
fox.
foxes. Foxes are tiny.
Yeah.
maybe
Coyote,
so werewolf. Sorry, a wolf,
Coyote,
a wolf,
coyote.
A wolf or a coyote.
Yeah, that's
Maybe
that's
not
more,
a fox.
yeah.
Maybe not fox. I'm sorry. Yeah, fox.
No,
is-
you're good. You're good.
Yeah, so a coyote or a wolf. Mainly a wolf, because a lot
So-
of them were wolves.
Now again, bring back to the whole thing. A lot of the
Not saying that that's what I believe. I'm just saying, would that make it something that would be a little bit more believable?
That's what I
for you?
said though. With like somebody maybe got like early, what wouldn't have been diagnosed as schizophrenia back then because but
Well,
might have been like schizophrenia or like fucking anything where they just think that they're an animal but they aren't actually an animal and they're like,
But I'm
oh
not-
yeah, I'm wearing the carcass and
I'm
now
not-
I'm doing the thing.
I'm not really
Oh,
saying. I'm not
so
really saying
furries?
psychosis. I'm not really saying like that. I'm not saying. I'm meaning more of like being in one with an animal. And there are animal trainers now that can train.
Well, it's like a
train things to do
psychosis doesn't necessarily require that you are in the state of psychosis 24/7.
No, I'm saying, but like, they're wearing the animal now. They think they're the animal, or whatever, and then now people might see that now that like think that they're the animal because they see them off in the distance wearing this skin as the animal. So, what I'm saying is, sorry to cut you off because I just want to because I don't think you're fully. So I'm saying is like, there are people that train bears. There are people that train tigers, and they train. So, it's not very far outside of the possibility that Native Americans who were at one with Mother Nature and with all the beings of Mother Nature, that they could have possessed the animal, not as far as like I'm taking like as far as the fact that like they've trained them to do their bidding, as far as like they help them move around and amongst like and like get away quickly and scamper off, because that's what they were said to do. The animals would help them get away from whatever crimes or things that they were doing. So that's what I'm saying. They train them to help them do certain things.
I want to hear from you
So
because you've been trying to get a point.
here's the thing. Again, bringing it back to my whole point of modern transportation, what you gotta think is, so what you gotta think is, they're still performing medicine men rituals and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Skinwalkers are probably still performing said rituals and everything, but they're not transforming themselves anymore because they don't need to, move. What they're probably doing is instead using the rituals to do things like gain what's the word I'm looking for? Dominance over lesser animals. Things like using it to cloud and impair the judgment of other people.
Potential hypnosis, because that's a thing
Things
that.
along. Yeah. Well.
So you're saying it evolved?
Yes, it evolved and differentiated itself into using more now instead of changing into animals because that's impractical and everything like that. Unless you're, purposely doing it for unless you need to for whatever various reasons. Now, it's more like now you're doing it to, rejuvenate and enhance your personal body. Change outcomes and luck and stuff. Like, you can use said abilities and rituals and magics for other things and stuff. That power doesn't necessarily have to be used to turn into an animal anymore because I can just go fucking buy a Jeep and drive across the valley. Instead, I can use that to, make it so the outcome of my dice roll is a bit better, or make it so this way I can seduce the hot chick a little bit easier or whatever. It's, you can instead exchange that power into something else nowadays. So, turning it into...
So they harness their energy instead of using
For a
the
different
energy.
purpose as opposed to what it initially started?
I mean, even then, they were also using said powers for other stuff along those lines. It's just, the whole becoming an animal thing is impractical and...
Fallen a little by the wayside.
Also a bit of a big red flag when instead I could be like, okay, I need to get out of here quick. I'll just kind of cloud everybody's mind and instead just walk out the door. So
like a Jedi mind trick type stuff.
that's what a lot of modern supernatural magic has evolved into nowadays anyway, because it's way more practical and everything. I mean...
So now, was this a question or a statement towards me, or just like...
Bit of a statement, I suppose, and just kind of in general, like...
Gotcha, because I was trying to figure out how that connected to what we were talking about.
I think he was
why they're
responding
real
to
or
what
not.
I was responding to.
Whether or not they're still kind of around and whatnot and still being a thing.
Okay, gotcha. Tracing it
Yeah,
back.
because
we stumbled a little bit. That's what I said.
Yeah,
I was like,
you don't really need to see a person become a fucking wolf or become a deer in front of you anymore, like, to prove that skinwalkers are real, when all that guy has to do is just kind of be like, hey,
you didn't see me.
I'm not here.
So
Yeah.
in like the Navajo tribes, they would basically almost like pretty much anything that would go wrong in the Navajo tribe would be blamed on the skinwalker. Bad crops, whatever it was, it would be blamed on the skinwalker. So now, I guess in theory, we blame it on like the devil if something doesn't go not me or us personally, but I'm saying like society.
A modern Western take on it.
Yeah.
A modern Christian Western take.
Yeah, exactly. So
Christian Western Chandler take.
You're allowed to bring them up.
I forced that one in.
Whatever.
but I forgot what I was going with this.
You're talking about the devil.
And how a lot of things.
Foosball is the devil, mama.
And how pretty much.
So that's what I was gonna go. So I guess it's still like if like the hurricane, in essence, like the Navajo would blame that on Skinwalker. We would blame that on like, what I'm saying, like potentially, because that's what in essence like a lot of the negative things that would happen would.
No, that's just man's hubris nowadays.
And the Aztecs with the volcano gods and shit like that. Yeah, it's.
You're looking for an entity to blame, so this way you can't say, oh, it's just.
Well,
it's chance. It's happenstance.
That's what I'm saying. So is that like going back to what I was talking about with the boogeyman and like the fear of these things?
Mm.
So is that because that would explain the reason, a reason why it would be a folklore. Because if it's not real, then it's a folklore that's used to keep.
I mean,
people
isn't
in
that what
fear.
cryptids are? Kind of like a urban myth, folklore type creature, based loosely upon reality.
But some of
I
them,
feel like we loosely
but,
established that.
but some of them strike more fear than others. Because like if I'm like, oh, Loch Ness monster, even though it's the monster, nobody's like, oh, I'm afraid of the Loch Ness monster. Or if like Bigfoot,
Well, I mean, if you own 3 goddamn fitty, yes, you're afraid of them.
yeah, for sure. Look at the size.
I mean,
of
if you think he's a kelpie, then you would also be afraid. I don't know, kelpies.
Yo,
are
kelpies
dangerous.
are fucked up.
Yeah.
Kelpies are fucked up. If you've ever heard anything about kelpies,
No, I'm basing
So-
it off of.
they're weird blob-like creatures that usually end up taking the shape of horses and basically just drown people in lakes.
And then eat them.
To the nicest way.
Yeah.
Where does this take place?
Usually in like Scotland, Ireland. It's more
Scotland
of
and
a,
Ireland. Sorry to cut you. They got some fucking weird things happening over there.
yeah, it's more towards the UK. It not that it doesn't happen in Britain, but it's. I feel as though Scotland and Ireland are usually a little more folklory for some reason.
Well, kelpies are fae, so fae are themselves are
Oh yeah,
Don't
fae
fuck.
all over Europe are.
don't fuck.
Yeah.
Fae are fae in America too. There are plenty of fae in America. Fae are all over the fucking place.
Sure, but you hear more of the like, what type shit from Europe. I
Fuck
feel
is a
like.
fae?
Fairy folk. So that's even extending. Like, there's fairy folk are all over the place and a lot of different things.
Yeah,
Red, like red caps and shit and all that. But you do not fuck with the fairy folk.
they are just the. Oh, you thought that you left something here? Well, they moved it over here. Type shit, that usually get blamed. However, they are also like
Well, they're-
malicious as shit.
They're not okay. So they're not evil and they're not good. They're neutral entities
Until you
for
fuck
the
with them.
most part. Until you either fuck with them or they feel like bored and decide to fuck with you.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Like, they'll do harmless little pranks like, oh, you thought you put your keys over here? Well, guess what? They're on the table. Like, they'll do little shit like that up until you fuck with them, or they're like, what a torturer, dude.
Like, throw you down the fucking
So what the-
stairs type shit.
So is
set
that like
your
a,
house on fire? Like,
so
fae
is a
will
is a
fuck
fae
you.
like a bad fairy? Because I don't know what the fuck. Is
No,
it,
it's
is
just
it-
like a generalized term.
So there are okay.
like,
so
is it
there's
short for something.
Fairy.
Fae.
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 Faye. That's just the. Because fairies nowadays have taken on different names
well, 'cause
and
there's
different
different
spellings, but it's like Faye, Fae.
It's because of the. I'm not gonna say it. Fuck you guys. You guys are fucking.
Anyway, so yeah, no. So the fae folk themselves, like they're different. Like I said, there are different types of fae folk. Like,
It's just.
and there's two categories. There's Seelie and Unseelie. The Seelie are summer fae, and they tend to be more the good ones.
Like Tinkerbell.
Yeah, pixies, like they're associated with warm, and the Unseelie are the winter fae. They're the ones who tend to be more, kinda-
Malicious, a little more
They're
mischievous.
the goblins and stuff along those lines.
Yeah.
The red caps, like I said
Trolls and
before.
stuff.
Yeah,
yeah.
like so. Yeah,
It's very like otherworldly, other dimension-y type shit.
a lot of European folklore is considered fae.
It just all boils down to the fucking fairies.
Fucking leprechauns are fae. Gnome are fae.
Yeah, if you really wanted to like go delve into the deep history of Fae, which we might, it's a lot. If you've ever heard of any Brothers Grimm, turns out it's probably a fairy. Fae. But Skinwalkers, bro, man.
Mermaids, I think.
Skinwalks.
Sorry, stumbling.
Yeah, we
I
had to edumacate.
Yeah, that was a good stumble. I
Yeah, no.
appreciate you guys
Edumacating?
keeping me woke because now I know.
You'd be in the. You'd actually probably be pretty alright with the fae. They love pizza.
Oh, I thought you were gonna say Jews.
No pizza.
Pizza.
Oh, they
Pizza?
fucking love pizza, man.
I got fucking plenty of pizza for you boys and
Also,
girls.
I think you may or may not be in good standing with one of Odin's ravens.
Oh yeah, it's
You
Josh.
seen that fucking giant ass fucking raven that hangs around here?
But
Oh, I thought you were talking
anything-
about Josh.
anything to close us off with for Skinwalker now that we sufficiently stumbled all the way over to Odin?
No.
We'll start with you down at the end, D.
I mean,
Anything to close us off?
uh,
Like I said earlier, if we just go missing, we fucked up somewhere. But
The only thing I want to say
if
is
we've been disrespectful to anybody, I apologize for
yes.
it.
yeah, I mean,
Well, that too, yes, because
I understand that this is like actual life and shit like that to people.
Yeah,
and
this is-
so.
So, and I also want to, like, again, we stated we are not in any way, shape, or form any experts on any of
No.
this. None of us are of any Navajo descent. We have no
Think
Navajo
Park
blood,
Ranger.
right? So, I
We're telling this from a third party perspective.
exactly, but I do want to say that a lot of the stuff that is being portrayed and perpetrated on the internet and these videos of supposed skinwalker sightings are probably 99 to 100% fake. Like, if you see it on TikTok or if you X or whatever the fuck it's called now, or Twitter or whatever, I don't even fucking know what you idiots call it these days. But if you see it on there,
It's not very nice to call them idiots.
it's, well, whatever.
Well, I mean, I could say it. You know, a lot of what you think are skinwalkers, like,
Probably not.
are I would say beast-based vampire
Yep.
of some form. You know, evolved from something or another into something.
Please finish.
Yeah, if your
Sorry.
if your cat is sitting like a human being is, like you would think a human being would, he's not a skinwalker.
He's just weird.
He's just fucking weird. Yeah, he's just a weird cat.
Probably. Most likely.
He's just a fucking cat.
99.9% of the time.
Yeah, he's just a cat with a personality. Just leave him alone. He fucking
Don't fucking unload on.
Yeah, like
Desk check!
yeah, like Dee told the story about that guy who thought his cat was possessed and he
Desk check!
He cigarette smoked.
fucking shot him with white ash cigarette smoke. Like what the fuck? Like, I would love to know what drugs that guy was on.
Probably cigarettes.
Well, the nicotine, yes. sure.
There is a guy who's gone out of his way to say that
Bath
nicotine
salts.
is-
He was on bath salts. See, that's how it fits in. Fuck yeah, I figured it
Who's
out.
the guy who was trying to say that he was like fucked up on nicotine? That's why he
Sucker.
said stupid shit.
We worked it in there. I didn't hear what you say that again.
I'm trying to think, who's the lol cow who's like, whose excuse when he does stupid shit is he's high on nicotine? There's a lol cow who's famous for that. I'm trying to remember who he is.
DSP?
No, I think it might be King Cobra.
King Cobra. That's who it is.
Is it?
King
Yeah.
Cobra.
Yeah, I was fucking high. You ever see King Cobra?
Please, Garrett needs to exist.
What's King Cobra?
He's a
Don't,
lo- he's a lol cow.
no. We're
Tell
not
me.
going down this road on
Tell me,
camera.
we got time.
No, we do not.
What the fuck you telling me?
Well, do you know what a lol cow is in general?
No.
No?
That's why I'm saying we're not starting this right now. We're trying to finish off the episode.
I mean, I got 5 minutes. I could lol cow.
I am Jackson. I am podcast robot. We must finish now. Okay.
No, but so you know, like, do you know like Boogie 2988 or fucking Chris Chan or?
He doesn't know these.
I don't know. You know.
That's what I'm saying. It's
Transylvania-
just
okay,
a
okay,
waste.
You know,
You
here,
know Transylvania
wait.
69000?
Fuck. Okay, ready? Do you remember Beetlejuice?
Yeah, of course, yeah. It was fucking great.
No. Beetlejuice from Howard Stern show.
Yeah, oh yeah. That guy too. He's
Yeah.
fucking crazy.
So
That fucking-
Beetlejuice would what we would call nowadays a lol cow if he was on the internet, except he was on the radio, and it was
Because
back
he has
in
a
the early
small
2000s.
head, is that why? Or is it because it just...
Because he was weird and he did weird things, it would cause people to make him want to do more weird things to laugh.
Okay,
That yeah,
gotcha. Okay.
like yeah, the entire Whack Pack from Howard Stern would be considered lol cows back.
Booey.
Yeah, would be considered lol cows nowadays.
Gotcha,
Yeah.
gotcha. The internet has fucked everything up.
Eh,
I'm
Fucked
happy
it
you
up.
were able to finish that as quickly as you did.
Yeah,
I told you it'd only take me a couple moments.
Yeah, I'm not a fucking idiot. I just don't know what the fuck.
I
you
never
idiots
said
are
you were an
talking-
idiot.
I just don't know what you.
I
idiots are
never said
talking
you were an
about.
idiot.
Did you
I
call
never
me
said
an
you were an
idiot?
idiot. Yes, he called both of us an idiot.
No, I just don't know.
Wow.
I'm just not.
I like how he leaves Jeff out of this. He knows Jeff
No,
knows well.
Jeff is gonna bite my finger off if I talk shit about him.
He knows Jeff knows well. Hey, Jeff.
Hi, Jeff.
Yeah. So I don't know. I just don't know the lingo, the internet lingo.
And that was Skinwalkers, guys.
Yep.
Good night,
Sorry to
people.
whoever we offended.
Sorry if we offended you. Thanks for listening. Have a good night.